about designing your future. And I'm just going to be walking us through how to actually have a purposeful career in product design. And before we get into that, I will just be introducing myself. I know Dora has done a bit of a very good job doing that, but I have 5 years of experience as a product designer, and I'm currently focused on product strategy and design leadership. I also currently drive growth in whatever product whatsoever by creating really innovative design solutions. I'm also a writer and I'm also really, really passionate for women in tech and also health tech in general, just like the company I work in currently, which is New Year. So a little bit about my skill set. I think these are like my skill sets that I'm very focused on right now, which is experience design, growth design, user research leadership, people management, and product strategy. And I'll just give a little bit of overview as to my background so you know I'm the right person to be giving this talk. So I was initially a book editor because I did not like that part and I needed to find another thing to do. So I stumbled into graphic design and then I became a product designer and then I became a senior product designer and now I am a product design manager. So at the stage where please keep all your questions at the end. We'll just be going through power, mistakes junior designers make, design thinking your career, and then you can ask me anything. Okay, so setting the stage. Um, Looking back, I was a really, I mean, I was just always trained my design place. I didn't really know have like a grand goal, and I was just mostly it wasn't purposeful. It just felt like I was just doing it for the fun of it. And it was very unintentional, no strategy, no alignment. And I just knew I was lacking purpose. Eventually, as every designer does, you would eventually get to this aha moment. It's actually something I do supposed to back my career, else I'm going to not get where I want to get. So on getting to this moment, I then started taking actionable steps to have a purposeful career. And I kind of envisioned my career as the ultimate product. So think of my career as the ultimate product. That's the perfect comparison I make with it. So since I'm a product designer, I can also design my career just like I design nice products. And the truth is that you don't want to go through your career without having purposeful planning. You don't want to just stumble according to accidental growth, else you've come along. So yeah, I realized I was not alone. I realized that a lot of designers often start off not knowing where they are going to, but a lot of people make the mistake of not actually planning. Realized my life, which was really good. So I realized afterwards that having a structured career plan results in significant decrease in career anxiety. And by that I mean you don't want to have career anxiety around, oh, am I in the right place? You want to be very sure of where you are as a product designer. You want to pick the perfect niche. You want to pick problems you actually want to solve in the tech field. So you just don't want to stumble across anything. Internet, intentional development boosts future job satisfaction. So if I want to be very, I mean, I'm working right now in a company in Netherlands with really good pay, really good system, but I didn't just stumble there. I had to like work my way and plan my way to get into that position, right? Okay, so before you set your practical goals, you need to know your strengths and you need to know what are the designer superpowers. What's that thing that if you really solidify it, you are going to. I hope you guys understand. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Before you practically set your goals, you need to gather your strengths. You need to know your superpower. So, what are your superpowers? I think the very first and most important superpower is you need to listen for clarity. And I mean, a lot of people think they listen, but actually they don't listen. They don't pay attention to what they need to do. So you need to not just listen for the sake of it. And I don't mean making down notes. I mean actually empathize with whomever you're designing for, to the point that you're able to get down to their problem source and actually solve for them. You should avoid happy ears. Happy ears are when you cannot listen and you just want to make your clients happy. Instead of you paying attention, you just morph it into whatever you think they are saying. So you did not really pick anything you think they're saying, and you just end up wasting their time, wasting your time because you're working on the wrong thing, and that's just a lot of junior designers do this actually. You need to actually always pay attention. You also need to find the bull's eye wall. And by that, I mean, you need to, you know how I'm going to give an imagery of, you know how when you're playing darts and you're hitting your dart on the wall, you need to have get to. So be very oriented with aiming. If you see a history of my career trajectory all over, I was always talking about health tech. I always wanted to work in health tech. So I made sure I had like the pathways to get me there. And right now I am working in a really good health company abroad because I wanted to solve problems in that space. So, first of all, listening will allow you solve new valuable problems. So, whomever, and I mean listening as a in general, as a junior designer, please listen. You don't know that much. You need to be humble and listen to learn. So listening will help you solve your problems, and also having a goal would help you know where you're getting. So you just need like one goal. You don't need grand goal. We're going to do a workshop on how to build your goals, right? And another designer superpower is consistency. You need to keep executing, keep practicing as much as you can. You need to always know the fundamentals of design, else you're not going to know what you're doing. So you need to always know what is absolutely essential for you to know and keep working on those things, whether that be Figma, copywriting, whatever you know you need to work on that will make you stand out. Don't stop doing it, whether or not you have a job or not. Also, you have to be very objective with self-critic. Is that people do is that they ask for people to give them feedback, which is all great and good, but you need to have a standard for yourself. So your defined checkers. If I don't get this, then I'm not there yet. And you need to know for yourself because people can actually or not. So have a goal for yourself. Have your own determiner that if I get this, I know I am getting to my destination. Maybe, and a very good example of that could be, I know I want to be really good at UI, and then you have a quality and good goal for that. So I'm just going to slide through. And the final designer's power is your design thinking mindset. So you always have to have a why behind why you're creating empathy. And empathy is being able to understand who you're solving for, and you can only do that by listening. So everything ties it together. You also need to have creativity. Stop copying. I think now, which is good to copy, but copy intelligently. Have a personality behind why you design things and challenges you get. It speaks more to your work and adds more credit. And then learning, constantly evolving, read as much articles, watch as much videos, do as much courses. I've been 5 years into my field and I still feel like I can always improve myself. So constantly evolve yourself and keep learning. And then don't run away from hard challenges. I know that most times oftentimes you can just want to do something that will build like a landing page, but there are real deep problems that are in the design field that we can actually solve. I just wrote this quick quote, which is that to measure a great designer, you need it's not about their output, but it's about their ability to foster growth. You need to know how to foster growth. And this is actually by Petra Holzman, who is a senior design director in Romania. I will not talk about the other one just because I'm keeping to time. Another thing is the common mistakes junior product designers make. So I think junior product designers, they have a huge career but the biggest career to you getting anything done actually is getting clarity and just doing it. Don't be anxious. Don't compare yourself. Focus on your journey. I mean, you can compare yourself, but in an intelligent way. Don't just compare yourself to everything. Weak listening, like I mentioned earlier. Don't undervalue design. It's like undervaluing your value. So don't ever do that. Always position yourself as a differentiator. You don't have to copy what everyone else is doing. You can actually create like your own brand of design. I know my own brand of design has to do a lot with data it's something a lot of people reach out to me for. You can have UI skills, design, something that you're just really passionate about that makes you a differentiator. And then the next one is failing prototype. So don't get into that mind space of you're not actually building things, you're just building in Figma. You actually have to ship products for them to be real. And then the last part is the design thinking in your career. So there's a 5-step guide to actually setting goals in design. And I'm going to be using what is known as the design thinking system. I think there are a couple of product designers here that know what design thinking is. Design thinking are the strategies you apply to know how to solve problems. So there are 5 steps. You don't have to always use these steps. There are other type of models to solve problems, but this is the most popular one. So you have to empathize with yourself. As a product designer, imagine your career is a product, like I said earlier. Your career is an app. So empathize with yourself. Ask yourself, what am I truly good at? What kind of work in for me, something I really hate in product design, I don't really like data that much in terms of actually finding the data. I like the idea of data, but I don't like finding it. So I know I'm not good at that. I can always solve that problem for me. And then what are your non-negotiables? What for me, a goal of mine was I really did not want to work in the Nigerian space because I just did not want to. And that is fine. That can be a goal for you. And you can have other goals as well. So just having a non-negotiable success definition for yourself so that you know you're on the right path. Another question you can ask yourself in defining in the first year or your career or whatever year you're in, set a goal for yourself. So in the first year, this is what I want to do. In the second year, this is what I want to do. And it's just one goal. You just need one bold goal that keeps you going. You don't need multiple goals. And then you think about where you want to be in 5 years. Like I said, in 5 years, I wanted to be a manager. I am a manager now. And then ideate. So test run, volunteer work, personal projects, and then practice a lot. Like I said, keep executing. Don't get into the mindset of, oh, I don't have a job now, and you don't do anything. Even when you don't have a job, you can still volunteer. Find seniors that are looking for people to work with. Offer to work for free if you want to get experience. And then prototype. So build your portfolio. When you now volunteer and you're putting yourself out there to work with other people, you'll be able to now have concrete work to put on your portfolio. Apply for internships. Try everything to not put yourself into a box. Don't pick a niche too early in your career. Do as much things as you can. And then when you get to a particular mark, maybe like a 3 year mark, then you can pick a niche in product design. Yes, there are niches in product design, but that's not what today's talk is about. And then finally, you can test it. So evaluate, fix things that needs to be done. So when you start putting your portfolio out there, if companies reject you and tell you that they don't want to hire you, you can just tell them that, please, what was it that you saw? You can send an email or find like experts. The design field in tech is really good. And I think a lot of people want to teach people. So you can reach out to anybody on LinkedIn. Hi, this is my portfolio. I know it's going to take a lot of your time. Tell them the goals you want. I don't know how many emails I sent at the beginning of my career just to know I'm heading in the right direction. And then have external critics and advisors. Network, network. So, like I said, reach out to people you don't know. You don't have to have something perfect. You have to say, I'm learning this. I have so many people that have reached out to me and are doing really well just from a LinkedIn message. So don't put yourself in a box if you actually want to be a really good product designer in terms of networking. It's absolutely important. And then yeah, I just had added this little bit about portfolio. In your portfolio, you want to show that you've done so many things. As a junior designer, please don't run away from exploring. Build apps, build websites, build products, build as much things as you want to do. Different apps, fintech, health tech, social tech, any type of tech at all, so that your employer, because you don't have enough proof of work to put yourself in a box. So do as much in brand design research, any possible thing you can do that would really make you look like you are very interested in becoming a very good designer. And then business thinking, and this is a very underlooked thing in this part of in Nigeria as designers. You need to know how to connect business decisions to your designs because design is not just art, is about actually solving problems, and that's something you need to remember. And it's okay to be unique. It's okay to not have a very cliche journey. And then your portfolio should be very well polished, visually designed really greatly. I don't think you should put out anything that you know is not great. You can have there are templates out there in Framer and I know there's even Figma sites right now. I know that there's Webflow. There's so many things out there to help, even Notion. There's so many tools out there to help you have a really good portfolio. And then this is what you should not do, which is like no range, the no strategy. And then this is what makes you a great designer: team, value, impact, respect for design, and high bar for quality. If you have all these things, you have a really good set of people backing you up. You value your work. You want to create impact. You respect design, and you have a high bar for quality. You are going to be excellent in design. So I just have like a few parting words to share. So you, as a junior designer, I think you need to know how to show that you don't. I can start from scratch with anything I need to do. I don't need to have deep. It doesn't need to be in the middle. And the thing about that is because right now in the design landscape is a bit competitive. So you want to really edge yourself and look like you are really standing out, right? And you need to sharpen your toolkit. So please do as much things as you can do. I would never tell a designer to run away from code because it actually makes you stand out, especially in this AI world. You need to know how to apply it. Then, yeah, just show your work in your portfolio as much as possible. Put yourself in the market. Connect with your teammates. Connect with people that you're working with. Other people that your junior designers are also learning design. You can even have like a group chat, right? That you guys all talk about your problems. And then this is about like negotiation. I don't really want to talk about that now because I think that that's not really everything. But yeah, I think that's major crux of everything. So setting your goals, you need to just think of it like a product. And then if you think of it like a product, apply what you have learned as a designer to make it good. So yeah. I don't know if
Fan
anyone has any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Nkiru. I had you rushing in with everything, but also trying to make sure.
Yeah, because I was looking at the time.
But also trying to make sure that you were hitting the nail on the head with all the points. And I just want to say we really appreciate that you were able to share this with us.